Have you ever paused mid-bite and wondered whether the foods you cherish still honor the strength that carried you through 8 remarkable decades? As you've collected stories in every wrinkle and celebrated milestones beneath countless sunrises, your body whispers new needs, gentler rhythms, softer comforts, and nourishment that truly supports each moment. This isn't about giving up familiar tastes. It's about rediscovering meals that feel like warm embraces, ones that uplift your energy and soothe your spirit. Today, you'll learn 8 everyday items to leave behind, and the simple, heartwarming alternatives that await. By the end, you'll feel inspired to fill your days with gentle flavors and mindful choices that celebrate both your resilience and the quiet joy of every shared meal. Processed meats. Processed meats might once have been a cornerstone of comforting meals. The smoky aroma of bacon frying at dawn, the satisfying snap of a sausage link at brunch gatherings, or the hearty indulgence of cold cuts layered between slices of your favorite bread. Those flavors are steeped in memories: family breakfasts around a sunlit kitchen table, potluck lunches shared with friends, and moments of simple pleasure after a morning stroll. Yet, in your 80s, these same treats can introduce nitrates, preservatives, and excess sodium that quietly burden your heart, stiffen your arteries, and stoke inflammation, making each beat a bit more laborious and each step a touch more deliberate. Consider the story of Mr. Jalal, who at 82 hadn't missed a single Sunday ham and cheese tradition. He cherished how the salt-cured meat complemented his homemade mustard and crusty roll. Over months, though, he began to notice his blood pressure climbing and a persistent ache in his knees. Swapping just 3 thin slices of deli meat for a few ounces of roasted turkey breast, brushed with a delicate glaze of honey, mustard, and fresh rosemary, brought back a surprising lightness. The sweetness of honey, the tang of mustard seeds, and the piney warmth of rosemary created a new ritual that felt both familiar and nourishing without the hidden burdens of nitrates. Rather than reaching for salt-cured favorites, you might explore lean proteins in their purest form. Picture slow-roasted chicken thighs, their skin crisped under a shower of paprika and garlic powder, juices pooling into a fragrant broth that you can spoon over soft vegetables. Or imagine a warm bowl of lentil stew, the deep brown lentils shimmering beneath a crown of fresh coriander and a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. The earthiness of cumin, the gentle bite of turmeric, and the sweet hint of caramelized onions can replace the heavy haze of processed meats with layers of nuanced flavor. Perhaps you've tasted the delight of a chickpea salad tossed with crisp cucumber ribbons, cherry tomatoes bursting with sun-kissed sweetness, and a whisper of mint, each bite both cooling and invigorating. These simple swaps honor the decades of strength you've carried, inviting meals that feel like quiet celebrations rather than hidden challenges. By choosing proteins in their simplest, most nourishing forms, you remind your body that every choice can be an act of kindness, supporting the gentle rhythms you've cultivated over 80 remarkable years. Sugary drinks. Each effervescent sip of a sweetened drink may once have felt like a small celebration for your senses. The cool fizz of soda against a hot afternoon, the bright sweetness of iced tea bursting with citrus, or the comfort of a syrupy juice poured alongside breakfast. These beverages have carried stories, coping with summer heat on front porch swings, sharing gossip with neighbors over splashes of lemonade, and toasting special moments with sparkling cocktails. Yet now, in your 80s, those same pleasures can tug at blood sugar balance and introduce hidden acids that erode gentle energies and peaceful rest. Take the example of Mrs. Farida, who for years began each morning with a generous glass of sweetened orange juice, its sunshine gold hue promising a bright start. Over time, she noticed midday slumps that turned her focus cloudy, and nights when sleep eluded her, replaced by the restless hum of overactive nerves. The sugar-laden drink carried her through the first moments of dawn, but left her chasing energy as the day wore on. Instead of syrup-heavy sodas or juices, Consider exploring naturally flavored hydration. Imagine warming water infused with slices of fresh ginger and a twist of lime, its gentle spice and tang awakening your senses without overstimulating your system. Or picture iced herbal brews, perhaps hibiscus petals steeped until deep burgundy, then chilled and sweetened lightly with a touch of honey. Each sip offers hydration, delightful color, and nuanced flavor without the roller coaster of sugar highs and crashes. Maybe you've discovered that cold-pressed water with floating cucumber circles and a sprig of mint feels like a silent invitation to calm reflection. The soft crunch of mint leaves as you stir, the whisper of cucumber's freshness on your palate. These small rituals can replace the habit of sweetened drinks with moments of mindful delight. If you crave sweetness, try a splash of pure apple cider mixed into sparkling water, adding a warm, autumnal note that doesn't overwhelm. Small adjustments can have profound effects. Trading a can of cola for a tall glass of coconut water with a squeeze of fresh lime, or swapping that morning latte's flavored syrup for a dusting of cinnamon. Such swaps respect both your taste for pleasure and your body's need for steady nourishment, turning every quaff into an act of self-care that honors the wisdom you've gained over 8 decades. Fried foods. The golden crunch of a fried delicacy may once have felt like pure comfort, warming your hands on a basket of pakoras as you watched monsoon rain patter on tin rooftops, or delighting in the crisp edge of French fries sprinkled with just the right amount of salt. That crispness carries laughter, family gatherings, and memories of carefree afternoons. Yet in your 80s, heavily fried foods can clog arteries, elevate bad cholesterol, and spark inflammation that echoes through sore joints, tense muscles, and heavy sleep. Recall Mr. Siddiqui, who adored fritters but began to notice each morning greeting him with a heaviness in his chest, followed by achy knees reluctant to bend. His daily ritual of ordering fried snacks delivered both taste and a deep sense of disappointment when mobility became more strained. That heaviness was a sign, an invitation to find alternatives that still satisfy the craving for crunch without the hidden costs of trans fats and oxidized oils. Instead of deep frying, imagine a tray of eggplant slices brushed lightly with olive oil, sprinkled with smoked paprika, and baked until their edges caramelize. The resulting texture offers a tender center and a gentle crisp, accompanied by an aroma that fills your kitchen with soft warmth. Or picture baking zucchini sticks on parchment, their natural moisture evaporating just enough to give a satisfying bite before melting into tender sweetness. Perhaps you've tasted the joy of roasted chickpeas spiced with cumin, coriander, and a whisper of chili. Each nutty, crunchy morsel delivering protein and fiber alongside a gentle warmth that lingers on the tongue. These simple swaps honor your body's evolving needs while preserving the sensory delight of crunch. You might try air-frying cauliflower florets dusted with turmeric and garlic powder, yielding a playful texture that dances between crisp and tender, or pan-roasting tofu cubes in a cast-iron skillet until golden brown, their edges yielding a gentle crunch that surprises and satisfies. Beyond cooking methods, consider the ritual itself, preheating the oven, lining a tray with parchment, and enjoying the scent of spices releasing their essence. These moments become soothing, almost meditative, transforming meal prep into an act of self-nurture. Each bite affirms that you can savor textural contrasts and rich flavors while honoring the quiet strength you've carried through 80 years. As you warm oven-baked delights, may you find a sense of lightness returning to both body and spirit. White bread and refined carbs. Soft slices of white bread once carried many of us through crowded mornings, their pillowy texture offering comfort and the promise of energy as you faced a new day. The gentle give of a sandwich, the ease of tearing off a tender piece to dip into warm soup. These moments wove simple pleasure into daily routines. Yet in your 80s, refined carbs like white bread, crackers, and sugary cereals can send blood sugar soaring, only to leave you chasing steadiness once the rush fades, moments when focus clouds and physical energy dips. Consider Mrs. Parveen, who for decades began every day with white toast slathered in ghee and honey. Over time, she experienced mid-morning fatigue, clouding her clarity, and a burgeoning restlessness that left her longing for short naps and the cool hush of early evening. These ups and downs whispered of cravings unmet by fleeting glucose highs. Whole grains, by contrast, cradle nutrients in their natural form, fiber, B vitamins, and gentle proteins, unfolding their energy slowly and gently. Imagine the nutty aroma of freshly baked whole wheat roti, its surface speckled with wheat germ and sesame seeds, or the comforting warmth of steel-cut oatmeal simmered with a pinch of saffron and cardamom. These choices feel both grounding and elegant, offering sustenance that steadies rather than startles. Perhaps you've delighted in a slice of dense multigrain bread, its chewy crumb holding an avocado mash sprinkled with chili flakes and lemon zest, a combination that feels bright, complex, and sustaining. Or experience the quiet pleasure of barley risotto infused with mushrooms and a sprinkle of parmesan, each spoonful revealing layers of texture and warmth. Beyond swapping ingredients, embrace rituals, grinding fresh oats for porridge, kneading dough with gentle strokes, or savoring the sound of seeds crunching under teeth. These small acts weave mindfulness into meals, reminding you that each bite can be a moment of grounding calm. By choosing whole, unrefined grains, brown rice, barley, bulgur, you honor the wisdom your body has accumulated and invite a steadier, gentler rhythm to each day. May these wholesome grains nourish both body and memory as you continue your journey with grace. Canned soups and frozen dinners. When the sky softens into dusk and energy begins to wane, the convenience of canned soup or a frozen entree can seem like a comforting safety net. The metallic pop of a lid, the beep of a microwave, the promise of warmth in minutes. These ready-to-eat options carry memories of quiet evenings spent alone with a book, late nights watching old films, or simply the ease of a fuss-free meal. Yet behind that quick comfort often lurks an overload of sodium that can nudge blood pressure upward, invite fluid retention, and leave both heart and kidneys working overtime. Think of Mr. Rahim, who relied on canned tomato basil soup each evening for simplicity's sake. Over weeks, he noticed swelling in his ankles and found himself waking at 3 a.m., parched and unsettled. The salt that once heightened flavor had quietly invited discomfort and restless nights. Rather than reaching for convenience, imagine the slow dance of a homemade vegetable broth simmering on the stove. The aroma of simmering carrots, onions, and celery weaving through your kitchen like an old lullaby. Picture adding tender grains, perhaps barley or red lentils, into that broth, along with a handful of fresh herbs, parsley for brightness, thyme for earthiness, a bay leaf for depth. As the pot bubbles gently, you can stir in soft cubes of butternut squash or chunks of tender tomato, tasting and adjusting seasoning with a pinch of sea salt and a crack of black pepper, each tweak guided by your palate's quiet wisdom. If preparing meals each night feels daunting, set aside a calm afternoon to batch cook homemade soups and stews. Portion them into clear, labeled glass jars or freezer-safe containers, each waiting patiently in your fridge or freezer. When the evening arrives, simply thaw and warm a lovingly prepared serving, knowing exactly which ingredients you're inviting into your body. The sound of a ladle scooping the soup, the sight of steam curling skyward, and the taste of fresh, vibrant broth can transform dinner into an act of self-honor rather than mere sustenance. A slow cooker can also become a faithful companion, loaded in the morning with beans, mirepoix, and gentle spices, and return home to a fragrant, hearty meal. The ritual of peeling vegetables, rinsing lentils, and pouring broth becomes a meditative journey, a reminder that caring for yourself need not be rushed. Each spoonful of homemade soup carries with it the warmth of your own touch, offering comfort and nourishment that supports the gentle strength you've carried through 80 beautiful years. Artificial sweeteners. Promises of sweetness without sugar may once have sounded like a kind compromise, pleasing the palate while sparing the waistline. Artificial sweeteners found their way into morning coffees, afternoon teas, and late-night snacks, their labels promising 0 calories and diabetic-friendly. Yet as the years pass, these chemical substitutes can leave both taste buds and metabolism feeling unsettled. That faint aftertaste might linger longer than you expect, and some older adults notice restless nights, mild digestive discomfort, or a persistent fog settling over afternoon thoughts. Remember Mrs. Zara, who began using artificial sweetener packets in her tea to manage mild blood sugar concerns. Over months, she realized her dreams had become restless, her mornings greeted by dry mouth despite steady hydration, and her afternoon walks shadowed by unexpected fatigue. The sweetness she sought came at the cost of subtle imbalances that whispered of deeper needs. Natural sweeteners, used sparingly, encourage your body to recognize genuine flavors and support wholesome digestion. Consider stirring a teaspoon of local honey into warm lemon water at dawn, letting its golden viscosity swirl with citrus brightness. Or mash a ripe banana into creamy Greek yogurt, allowing the fruit's gentle sweetness to balance tangy creaminess. Such combinations bring nutrients, antioxidants in honey, potassium in banana, probiotics in yogurt, transforming simple pleasures into moments of real nourishment. Perhaps you've discovered the joy of plump dates, their sticky sweetness complemented by a sprinkle of crushed pistachios, or the subtle warmth of maple syrup drizzled over roasted carrots. These ingredients carry stories of seasons, the golden harvest of maple trees, the sun-ripened richness of fruit, the buzzing of bees in late summer. By choosing natural sweeteners, you honor cycles of growth and renewal while offering your palate a depth of flavor that artificial options simply cannot replicate. Each small act, stirring honey with a gentle spoon, scooping mashed berries, drizzling syrup, becomes a ritual of care. You acknowledge that sweetness in life comes not from shortcuts, but from honoring nature's slow work. As you savor these gentle flavors, let each taste remind you of the resilience you've cultivated through 8 decades, celebrating both your history and the luminosity of small joys. Unpasteurized dairy and juices. That rustic charm of raw milk or cold-pressed juice from a local farm carries an undeniable nostalgia. The idea of drinking something fresh, straight from the source, untouched by industrial processes. You might recall picking apples with grandchildren, then pressing them in a simple cider press, or visiting a dairy farm where the cool milk straight from the cow felt like liquid comfort. Yet behind this allure can hide unseen bacteria, Listeria, E. coli, and others, that a younger immune system might fend off more easily than one in its gentle autumn years. Think of Mr. Raza, who at 83 savored raw milk for its rich creaminess and subtle sweetness. Not long after, he faced a bout of listeriosis, a sudden illness that left him weaker and more fatigued than any summer flu he'd known. The strength he carried through decades suddenly felt dimmed by days of uncertainty and extended recovery. By choosing gently pasteurized milks and juices, you uphold both safety and flavor. Pasteurization involves warming the liquid just enough to neutralize harmful organisms while preserving much of its taste and nutritional profile. Imagine pouring a glass of warm, pasteurized milk, its surface reflecting the soft morning light as you stir in a whisper of vanilla or a dash of cinnamon. Or savor a tall glass of pasteurized orange juice, its bright hue paired with sparkling water and a sprig of fresh mint. A simple transformation that feels both refreshing and secure. If cheese delights you, look for pasteurized varieties: smooth brie, crumbly manchego, or tangy feta. Each brings texture and aroma worthy of celebration, whether crumbled over a salad or melted into a gentle vegetable gratin. For juice lovers, consider small batches of homemade blends, Use pasteurized apple or grape juice as your base. Then stir in pureed berries, sliced citrus, or a few muddled herbs. These mixes offer complexity without sacrificing safety. Every glass you pour becomes an act of mindful care, a moment to honor the resilience of your immune system and the richness of flavor. As you sip warmed, pasteurized milk stirred with a hint of nutmeg, or clink glasses of spiced juice with a friend, you celebrate both safety and simplicity. Let these choices remind you that nurturing your body can be as comforting as embracing the sweetest memories of seasons past. Packaged snack foods. Those brightly packaged snacks, chips, cookies, snack bars, might beckon with promises of instant satisfaction. A salty crunch, a sweet chew, or a blend of both. You may recall sharing cookie tins at holiday gatherings or tossing a granola bar into your bag before a brisk morning walk. Yet many of these convenient snacks are crafted for shelf stability and mass appeal, loaded with refined sugars, unhealthy fats, and additives that deliver fleeting pleasure but little genuine nourishment. After enjoying them, you might feel a hollow echo, a craving that lingers and leaves your mind foggy rather than clear. Consider Mrs. Noor, who kept a stash of chocolate-covered biscuits on her bedside table. They felt like a comforting treat each evening, yet over weeks she noticed restless sleep and mornings where her mind seemed wrapped in cotton. The quick dopamine hit faded swiftly, leaving her longing for the next bite rather than feeling truly satisfied. Instead, imagine creating a snack station at home. Clear glass jars filled with almonds, walnuts, and pistachios, bowls of crisp apple slices and pear wedges, small containers of carrot and celery sticks alongside vibrant hummus. These options offer textures and flavors that satisfy without artificial additives. The gentle crunch of a toasted almond, the creamy swirl of nut butter, the sweet burst of a berry. Each bite becomes a moment of mindful pleasure rather than mindless eating. Perhaps you've delighted in roasting chickpeas at home. Just toss them with a touch of olive oil, cumin, and sea salt, then bake until they're perfectly crisp. The result carries warmth, protein, and fiber in every morsel. Or discovered that a handful of frozen grapes, plumped by cool air, offers a refreshing, lightly sweet treat on warm afternoons. By turning toward whole food snacks, you invite clarity of mind, steady energy, and a deeper sense of satisfaction. The simple act of selecting and preparing your snacks becomes a ritual of self-care, whether you're slicing cucumbers with a gentle knife, scooping creamy yogurt into a bowl, or arranging fruits on a small platter. Each step honors the quiet strength you've carried through 8 decades and reflects the care you extend to yourself now. As you choose wholesome alternatives, let each bite remind you of the journey you've traveled, the lessons learned, the joys celebrated, the challenges overcome. May these nurturing snacks support both body and spirit, carrying you through days filled with gentle purpose and quiet delight. As you stand on the threshold of each new morning, remember that every mindful choice you make echoes the strength and wisdom you've gathered over 80 years. Letting go of these 8 foods isn't about giving up. It's about making space for gentler flavors, quieter energies, and meals that feel like warm embraces rather than burdens. Your journey remains rich with possibility, from the simple pleasure of a soothing herbal infusion to the slow-roasted grain bowls that comfort both body and soul. You've navigated seasons, weathered storms, and cherished countless joys, each step proof of your resilience. May these gentle suggestions guide you toward nurturing routines that honor the life you lead and the love you share. Your days remain full of sunlight, warmth, and quiet celebration. Here's to savoring every bite with gratitude, knowing that your story continues to unfold with purpose and gentle delight. If you feel inspired by these ideas, please subscribe for more heartwarming guidance. Ring the bell icon to stay updated with every new video, and drop a comment below sharing which food swap you're most eager to try. Together, we can build a caring community where every choice is a celebration of life's enduring gifts.